Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Hey, in this video I'm going to be showing off my Spare Rations. It's godly. It's the best roll I've ever had on a Spare Rations, period. By that I mean this is the only Spare Rations I've ever had drop, and the roll is really not that great, but I don't have anything to compare it to. So I have had terrible Spare Rations luck historically. Literally farmed tier 2 Reckoning collectively for more than 24 hours before I ever had one drop. And I like stopped grinding for one because it was so unfulfilling. I mean, I had like literally nothing to show for those, dozens of hours spent in that activity. Well, luckily today the drop rate is supposed to be increased. So hopefully next week you'll have an opportunity to start farming for a Spare Rations again. I think I will probably be taking advantage of the opportunity to get my hands on a better one. But in the meantime, this is the one that I've got. It's got, let's start with the pros. It's got ricochet rounds, which isn't terrible. Obviously Accurized would be better. And it has small bore, which isn't terrible, but you could get better options. No range masterwork. The masterwork on mine is handling, which isn't terrible. I threw an Icarus mod on it. But then for perks, it's got 4 times the charm, which is completely and utterly pointless in PvP. The mag size on this thing is already nice. So having 4 times the charm is probably the most pointless perk you could possibly get on one of these things for a PvP roll. And let's be honest, you're probably not using one of these in PvE anyways, because there are primary weapons that chew through opponents much more quickly than a Spare Rations will. So yeah, pretty useless perk. The other perk that I got on it is Swashbuckler, which isn't bad, and in fact I did find that there are some pretty nice ways that you can use that to your advantage. You'll see some kills in here where I'm doing over 90 and at one point even over 100 damage with a single headshot because of Swashbuckler stacks and then other damage buffs for the 10. I think at one point I do like 108 to the head, but I think it's because I got like 1 stack of Swashbuckler and I have frontal assault up as well, so I think that played a part. But anyways, it's not. It's not a very good roll. It really isn't. So many subpar or mediocre perks, and then one perk that's pretty good. Swashbuckler's pretty good, but everything else on it is mediocre at best. So I kind of figured going into Crucible, I was like, well, I don't have a Spare Rations to compare this to, but I'll just use this one and see what happens. And what I found is that, holy cow, even a bad Spare Rations is a good Spare Rations. I was blown away at the consistency of this weapon, the ease for controlling the recoil on it. It's just not a difficult gun to use. And I'm used to using, hand cannons that kick a lot. I use Sunshot a lot. I use Thorn a lot. I ADS with Last Word a lot. I use a lot of 140s too. I'm just used to guns that have kick. And this one just felt smooth as butter. It was just, especially for a 150. With 150s, you sort of expect them to have some stupid amount of recoil on console, but like visual recoil, that is. And this one is just not that bad. It really isn't. So I had literally instant success. Like, there was no growing pains. There was no, oh, it's going to take you a few matches to get used to this gun. It was basically equip and profit. For someone who's used to using hand cannons, it just felt easy. It really did. So I would highly recommend that you guys, if you have not already farmed for Spare Rations, do it. Hopefully your luck is better than mine. I've had people tell me they got a Spare Rations on their first ever tier 2 Reckoning, and it made me mad. Because like I said, it was more than 24 hours spent in tier 2 Reckoning for me before I ever had a single one drop. 24 hours compared to somebody's, oh, I spent 15 minutes playing the activity and I got one. That makes me sick. But honestly, I hope that for you, because I hope that you don't have to go through the agonizing Reckoning grinding that I had to do in order to get one. So I do look forward to the better drop rates, because I would love, having used a bad one and knowing how good it is, man, I'm eager to get back in when the drop rates are higher and get a better one. Give me a range masterwork, give me accurized rounds. Man, give me rangefinder. Holy cow. Give me some kill clip on this thing. Man, that would just be the cat's pajamas. So I'm looking forward to getting back in there and having some fun with a better Spare Rations. Let me know in the comment section. I'm genuinely curious. What's the best rule you've gotten? Be honest. I'd be genuinely curious to know. And what has your experience been? Has it been like mine? Was it like you put this thing on and you're like, holy cow, this thing is easy? Because that was my experience. I was blown away by how easy it was. Didn't even have to have like an adjustment period whatsoever. Truthfully, I hope we get more hand cannons like this in the coming DLC. We've seen some hand cannons. We've seen like the new 110, the exotic. But I'm curious as to what the next thing is going to be. You know, Spare Rations right now is sort of the hand cannon to grind for. All the others that are good don't really require much of a grind. They just sort of happen, or you can go chase them down specifically, like the AS Luna. That's what I'm calling it, because that's what it looks like. But the Austringer, right? You can just select that's what I want. It didn't take me long to get a really good Austringer. Last Word Thorn, obviously you can go pursue those things, but Spare Rations is the only one you really have to grind for. And I'm curious, I actually enjoy having something like that you have to like go grind for. And truthfully, I did encourage before Season of the Drifter dropped, I did encourage that we needed to have things to chase that were a little bit more rare. Unfortunately, I think they swung that pendulum a little too far with Spare Rations and some of these guns. Like they're a little bit too rare, but I do like that you have to go into a specific activity, cross your fingers, and hope that it drops. I think the drop rate needs to be a little bit higher though, and obviously they've agreed and are rectifying that today. So that being said, this sort of concludes the Spare Rations portion of the video. I've got a little bit of gameplay that's going to keep rolling. Let me just remind you guys, I made a transition to Facebook Gaming for my live streaming, and if you are interested, you don't even have to have an account to view. I'll put the link in the description and the comments section. By the time you're watching this video, I will probably be live. So feel free to click the link, check it out. We're building a new community over there from the ground up, and we got some really cool people there. And the thing about Facebook is that we actually are having fewer trolls. You know, trolls on Twitch, they exist. They just show up, they say whatever they want to say. And that, I mean, that happens on Facebook Gaming, sure. But it seems like it's a lot less. And so it's been nice to have a really positive community, people who are just genuinely interested in the game and genuinely interested in building connections with other players in the Destiny community. And it's been a good time building a new Destiny community from the ground up over there. So I hope that you will choose to stop by. If you have reservations about Facebook because you don't like having your name out there, a lot of people in my community have literally made new accounts that are just their gamer tag. Like, you know, Beefy Jim. That's first and last name, but that happens to be their gamer tag or their Twitch handle. And so that's what they use over there. And you can just toggle which account is active, you know, right there on the app. So it's pretty easy peasy. Feel free to stop by, say hi. I hope to see you there. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Be warm and well fed, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible. Bye-bye.